Good evening, and welcome to the end. If you're wondering why the streets of your town are deserted, and why the shop windows are all boarded up, and why nobody ever calls just to say hello anymore, then I'm sorry to say that humanity has reached its dark conclusion. And it isn't nuclear war or the coronavirus that has taken its toll on us feeble-bodied mammals. It is, in fact, something far more brutal. The simple fact is that robots are taking over, and their arrival has ensured our imminent demise. However, not only are they fighting us, but they're also fighting each other. And they've given us special permission to film it in this old abandoned warehouse somewhere in the mid-Atlantic. So sit back, relax, and marvel at humanity's successes before they can come to your house and strategically take parts off of you. Who do we have tonight? Good evening, and welcome to Robot Wars. First competitors into the arena, KRAYZEE, Tokyo,
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Perhaps a bit of a mismatch to start. Grunt, a wedge-shaped robot, and KRAYZEE Tokyo, the tiny shoe-shaped little thing, brown in colour, pushed straight into the corner. And that is a corner where the observer bot can have his playtime. He eats robots for supper. KRAYZEE Tokyo straight under the cosh here in this battle. Wouldn't be many that would put bets against Grunt for this one. KRAYZEE Tokyo with the battle ram at the front, already knocked out, counted out, gone. Don't worry, this robot will get a chance for redemption later on. Grunt watches on triumphantly for an easy first victory. Straight from the off, underneath, pushed against the wall. And let's face it, there wasn't much KRAYZEE Tokyo could do from that point onwards. Let's move on to the next battle. Hedgehog versus DREADNAUT.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2,
Hedgehog with the wedge, DREADNAUT with the forklifts. Slower competitors this time. The pickaxe of Hedgehog could come in handy here to cause damage to the front of DREADNAUT, but is DREADNAUT doing the pushing here and close to the CPZ where Observerbot can have his way? That's not where you want to be, Hedgehog, but now DREADNAUT is pushing Hedgehog with superior pushing power here, and that forklift is not, what is it, pickaxe, toothpick, can't do much against the power of the Observerbot. Hedgehog is upside down, that forklift proving vital for DREADNAUT here, and it's pushing its way towards an early victory. Hedgehog unable to push back, and the Observerbot is biding its time. Now it comes in. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. DREADNAUT backs away, looks to give another attack, and comes in under again. The shell of Hedgehog pushed into the corner. The Observerbot knows where this is going. In on the side again now, DREADNAUT getting onto those forklifts. Another flip. And Hedgehog stranded on its back once more. I think the Observerbot's had enough now. Hedgehog is done for. Get out of it, DREADNAUT. This is Observerbot's fun now. Unfortunate for Hedgehog. Over the mountain it goes. Good job, Observerbot. Doing your thing. It was pretty one-sided affair. DREADNAUT with the superior pushing power and the superior weapon. Hedgehog into the CBZ and out of the competition. Start with Elvis versus Vector of Armageddon.
Robot ears, stand by.
Back from
3,
the dead, Elvis.
2,
With
1,
side weapon.
activate.
We'll see how important that spike weapon turns out to be. That's a mistake there from Vector of Armageddon. Perhaps a design flaw. It's on its back. What's the Observerbot going to do here? We'll try to right Vector of Armageddon. Remember, we are here for entertainment, Vector of Armageddon. We want at least 10 seconds of battle before we demolish you. That spike on the front of Elvis, the only active weapon in the arena at the moment. Apart from perhaps Observerbot's flipper, but now it's Vector of Armageddon doing the pushing into the CPZ onto the spikes. You don't want to get caught by them, and that is why Vector of Armageddon toppled by the arena spike. It was doing the pushing, but got to look where you're pushing these things. Elvis, too low a centre of gravity to be flipped. Unlike Vector of Armageddon, long body, shallow and defeated. That first move there proved costly. And it happened again, and Elvis progresses to the next round. Now you may think we're cruel enough to kick 3 robots from the competition without a chance for redemption, but no. We're crueler than that. We're throwing all 3 back into the arena to bash each other's circuit boards in, and only one can stay in the competition. We recommend moving a metre or so back from your screen because things are about to get scary. It's a 3-way playoff now between the 3 losers from the first round.
Stand by.
KRAYZEE Tokyo,
3,
Vector of Armageddon.
2, 1.
Finally, a Wedgehog.
Activate.
Chance for redemption is upon us. KRAYZEE Tokyo. Once again, the little pipsqueak there, immediately pushed back by Vector of Armageddon into the corner. That's now the wedge coming in handy. And there's the little axe of Wedgehog trying to damage the back of Vector of Armageddon. KRAYZEE Tokyo comes charging back in now. You see that little battering ram on the front. How effective it is, I'm not too sure. But we see how effective the wedge is on the front of Vector of Armageddon, in underneath Wedgehog. Pushing against the side wall, now backs away, giving Wedgehog another chance to come back into the fight. KRAYZEE Tokyo bullied once more, and now into the CPZ where the Observer Bot takes no prisoners. And that's a mistake there by Wedgehog, over the spike, onto its back, and that could be doom for Wedgehog. We've seen more of the underside of it, I think, than the upper side throughout this series so far. Wedgehog could well be counted out here. Gobbled up by the Observer Bot, and it's out of the arena. That's what happens if you mess with our Observer Bot. KRAYZEE Tokyo counted out as well. It will be Vector of Armageddon rejoining the others in the Heat semi-final. And didn't it prove its dominance? First on KRAYZEE Tokyo. Wedgehog, not good enough. Now we move on to the semi-final. First up, Grunt and Elvis.
Roboteers, stand by.
Looking rather chic
3,
there, Elvis.
2, 1.
As opposed to the
Activate.
grey, streamlined Grunt. Grunt and Elvis to make it through to the Heat final. And now it's Grunt applying the first pressure, pushing back against Elvis into the arena CPZ. And that's where the Observer Bot is lurking. Lurking. It is leaking oil all over the floor. That's what's making it so slippery for Elvis. Now Grunt is pushing Elvis back against the side wall. And that gives Elvis an opportunity to come in on the side of Grunt with that spike. Can it cause enough damage to knock Grunt out here? Pushing against the other wall. And Observer Bot watches closely to see what happens. Backs away now, giving Grunt another opportunity to come head on and push against the arena pyramid. How effective those are, we're not too sure. Now it's turning into a bit of a pushing match between these two. A bit closer now. That's where you eliminate some of the weaker opponents and get some tighter fights in. Both of these putting on quite the show at the moment. Grunt has the superior pushing power, and now pushing Elvis to the other side of the ring. Perhaps into the pyramid or the CPZ. That's it. Game over. It's got to go to a judge's decision. The decision goes for Grunt. Far more pushing, far more aggression. As for the final will meet either Dreadnought or Vector of Armageddon.
Roboteers, stand by.
Back
3,
from the redemption round, Vector of
2,
Armageddon to face Dreadnought.
1. Activate.
Not the easiest opponent to go up against. And quite clearly, Vector of Armageddon has not learnt from its mistakes. That initial head-on burst puts it on its front. And it's got no way to turn itself back over. How much leniency is the Observer Bot going to have here for the Grunt machine? Dreadnought has nothing in terms of mercy and chases down Vector of Armageddon. The Observer Bot appears to be trying to separate them, perhaps trying to give another opportunity, but I think it's over now. It is over. The Observer Bot is having none of this nonsense. Oh, what's happened there, Observer Bot? Get up. Sort it out. Vector of Armageddon out of the competition. Dreadnought through. Again, that initial burst from Vector of Armageddon proved costly. This time the Observer Bot gave it no mercy. If you thought the previous fights were difficult to watch for their sheer carnage and depravity, then you haven't seen anything yet. We've separated the men from the boys, and they're now ready to compete for a place in the series grand final. Place your bets and get ready to hide behind your sofa.
Robot ears, stand by.
One of these robots will be going through to the series grand final
1.
of a Dreadnought or Grunt. Straight away we see the speedier of the two is Grunt and gets underneath Dreadnought and now starts to push. This is a great start from Grunt pushing Dreadnought into the CPZ, and in comes the observer bot now. It's free to take on Dreadnought and do with it as it pleases. Puts it on its side and it's looking doom already for the unfortunate Dreadnought. Great first attack by Grunt, and that is it now. I think the observer bot has claimed its next victim, which means Grunt will move on to the grand final of the Robot Wars. A brilliant first attack. Great aim to push Dreadnought into the CPZ, and from then on, you've got the observer bot to tackle. And he's not easy. So we have our first finalist. They will go through to face more destruction later in the series, attempting to win the title of Robot Champion. Join us next time when 6 more psychotic cyborgs will sizzle your sadistic sights on Robot Wars. Goodbye.